Hello again everyone, and in this video we are going to test our domain, which I checked and it's completely pointed to my server, so I can go ahead and install WordPress to test our MySQL on our server to see everything is working or not. So let's get into my WHM. Of course, if you have your cPanel user, you can go to this address. Let me bring it here. You can go to port 2083 to directly use the username of your cPanel and password and get inside. But because I didn't copy the password of this user, then I need to come to my WHM and then log into my cPanel, which you can see now it's on port 83. So in my file manager, as you can see, I've got my WordPress uploaded, and I'm going to open up my domain, which I know it's now connected, but just needs to refresh one time with F5 on Firefox to refresh it. So install WordPress, continue. Let's go. Database name. So I'm going to MySQL database wizard to create a database. For example, the name of my database username and database name would be myudemy_WP. And I check all of the privileges. I put the password over here. I will copy the username of the database and database name. My table prefix would be WP. You can change it to anything and submit. And our WordPress is now working. So the site title must be test because it's a test website. Admin 1234. It's a test website. I told you my email, and install WordPress and login. So first of all, let me log in. As you can see, the speed of this WordPress is so much great. Everything's working so much fast. This is my website, which is coming. As you can see, everything's working. This is a dynamic website, which means we have configured our server completely. Our connection is secure because of that HT access code, and everything's okay. So as you can see, I can go ahead, change my theme to anything to show you everything's working. Everything is dynamic. Again, let's test the site, and as you can see, everything's working. Again, let's change it to something else like 2017, and again refresh the page, and as you can see, it's changing to 2017 theme of WordPress. So it might be the end of this course, but it's not. If you think I'm going to finish this course, you're wrong, because there is one part more to show you, which is installing Cloud Linux. What is Cloud Linux? If I go to my previous first, let's show you this one. Let me see that. If I could bring up that one. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go to cPanel. As you can see right now, I have multi-PHP manager and multi-PHP ini editor. But there are lots of cPanels. If you have ever experienced before, there is a item here named select PHP version, and also there are others. There are other features here which are missing right now. Some of those are installing from the cPanel market. As you can see, cPanel has lots of add-ons in its market. I've put over here for you to see it. Let me show you that. This is it. If you go to CP add-ons, which are something like the add-on modules of any other control panel, here you can see there are lots of add-ons that you can, for example, install. You can manage them, and you can just put them for all users or not. For some of those, for example, you can use WHMCS or WordPress. For example, let me update this config, WordPress, and update the config, and let's wait for it to finish. And then you can see that another item will come up over here, which is for WordPress management. your users can install WordPress easily with a interface without a problem. So here you can see the success part. If I refresh my cPanel, as you can see, something in applications come up, which is a WordPress manager. I can install WordPress easily from here if I just click new site, and I'll only need to give my domain and install it by just one click installer, and that's cool. And also there's another thing here in this part. If you see in other servers, that name is select PHP version, which is for Cloud Linux. Cloud Linux select PHP version. Let me show you if the image is available. Yes, the image is now available here. It's something like this. It's called LVE Manager, which your users can choose their PHP versions easily, and also they can choose their extensions, their PHP extensions, without need to tell you to do that from Easy Apache for them. It means that a user from user access to the server can can disable, enable the needed PHP extensions for himself, which is for Cloud Linux operating system. And the other thing that it has is the control on your users. The big hosting companies always install Cloud Linux because of something which is called CPU limit and memory limit. In Cloud Linux CPU limit, let me see if there's any image to show you. And yes, as you can see, no, this is not that one. Yeah, I think this is. This is the image that you can, with Cloud Linux, you can limit your users to, for example, 1 GB of RAM, for example, 1 core of CPU. If any user over that size that you limited him, automatically Cloud Linux will suspend that account and will alert you that one of your users has overused your server, which is a cool thing, and it would help you monitor your servers automatically. It's something for autopilot of your servers monitoring, because if you want to do that on your own, it would be hard. So Cloud Linux is very good for those people who has lots of users and they want to monitor them. But for the users, for you, if you are using cPanel for your own dedicated hosting, then I don't really suggest using Cloud Linux, because overall Cloud Linux performance is a little bit lower than CentOS. Right now our operating system is CentOS, which is very good. I think the best performance with cPanel is with CentOS. If you install Cloud Linux, this load average may go up a little bit, and also your RAM usage, which I've shown you in service statue. Let me open up here service statue. If I go there, you can see now 20% of memory is used, 8800 megabytes. I told you it's normal that the control panel is using, and also my server load is 0.3. But if you install Cloud Linux, of course these are gonna go up, but of course Cloud Linux is not for 4 GB RAM of a CPU. Cloud Linux is installed on dedicated servers, on big servers with lots of users, not something like this server. So if you install Cloud Linux, it's normal that you will have about 2 GB of RAM usage and about 1 core of CPU even usage, but overall it would help you. The kernel of Cloud Linux operating system would have lots of features. Some of them are good for security of lots of users, because it would put users in a cage named cage FS, and so the acts of a user, the operations of a user would not affect any other user, which is not possible in CentOS. Another feature is limiting the CPU and RAM of the users in the Cloud Linux, but in CentOS it's not possible because the Linux normal kernel doesn't have this feature, and it cannot handle this, okay? And the other cool feature is the monitoring of Cloud Linux, which would automate your monitoring for lots of users. It would be hard to monitor it yourself, and it's not a human work. The robots can do it better than a human. And the last feature was the PHP selector, which the user could possibly use that select PHP version and enable and disable the PHP extensions for himself. So that's it. That's the good features of Cloud Linux. Again, I'm telling you, if you are a very low user of cPanel, for example, you have 5 users, 10 users, 20 users, it's okay not installing Cloud Linux. But if you are a hosting provider who has lots of users, who has lots of customers, then it's okay. It should be really installed on your server, because Cloud Linux is gonna help you. Of course, Cloud Linux is not free. If you go to its website, cloudlinux.com is the website they have, and they've got Cloud Linux. If you go there, there's a pricing for it. Let me see if I could find the pricing. Actually, it's not really cheap. It's gonna take it's gonna make you a lot of costs. cPanel Plus, Lightspeed, Direct Admin, ISP Manager, and WebMin, and also InnerVox are the control panels that Cloud Linux supports right now. Try or buy. As you can see, it gives you free 30 days trial, which I'm using now to install for you. So in the next video, I'm going to install Cloud Linux. Actually, I'm going to upgrade this CentOS to Cloud Linux and show you how to do that, okay? If you are going to get a license, it would cost you about this numbers of licenses. If you get one license, it would be $14. As much as you purchase them, they're going to give you some discounts, all right? And it's okay if you really are a busy man and you don't have time to monitor your server. It's going to help you a lot, okay? So stay with me in the next video. Cloud Linux OS, we are going to upgrade our WHM server, WHM cPanel server with CentOS to a Cloud Linux operating system with cPanel, which is going to take a lot of time. Installing Cloud Linux almost takes about 2 hours on powerful servers. So stay with me in the next video, and I'll see you there to install Cloud Linux.